good morning, and welcome to all to another edition of Policing with You. I'm your host for today, Sergeant Marvin Thompson, and with me in studio, I have Superintendent David and Sergeant Thompson.
Good morning.
We'll be talking a little bit about crime and crime prevention, detection, and a few other matters, and how you, the community, can partner with the police in these initiatives. So, without further ado, I'll just ask Superintendent David to lead in terms of the crime.
Good morning to everyone, Radio Land and various social media platforms. And the Royal St. Kitts Nevis Police Force basically is the principal agency that charged with the prevention, detection of crime, and also leads evidence in court. However, we realize that in many cases the public may see and hear things before the police, and in this regard we know that you certainly can help in terms of the detection. In terms of prevention, we are looking at how can you make yourself less vulnerable to criminal activities. And when I say yourself, I'm talking about your personal body, your premises, your vehicle, even your office space. How do you make them less vulnerable? How do you now see yourself as part of the solution to the issue of crime? We believe that once you secure your homes properly, using necessary security features, whether it's we have a number of locks nowadays. You can just put your finger, they record your fingerprint. Some people don't want to use the eyes. Some people put in some numbers, and you have some locks that are very difficult to illegally open. I put it that way. We say break the lock, I put the lock, but I say illegally open the lock. Also, too, when you're driving your car, it's always important that you, if you feel like it is necessary, park in a well-lit area. Do not leave valuable items on the seat so people can see what is going on inside there. You do not leave your doors unlocked, and you do not park your vehicle in an area where it is very vulnerable. In terms of you personally, nowadays everybody have bank cards, credit cards. Utilize them more. If you have cash, try not to expose too much cash in the public. Just sufficient to purchase whatever you have to purchase. Some persons, especially we men, we have a fluffy wallet, we want to pull it out, and when you pull it out, apart from cards, you see some cash inside there. So we're saying to you, protect yourselves. So I will just mention that by way of introduction, and I do hope that everyone having a good time so far.
Okay. So in terms of what you were saying just now, in terms of how we secure the premises,
Yes.
Some of the things we can do, the vehicles. We have music festival coming up shortly. Give us a little more of some of the things we can do if we're leaving home, and when we get to the venues, some of the things that we can do in terms of the vehicle to assist the police in terms of ensuring or minimizing the chances of our vehicles getting broken into.
Certainly. Well, I will say first that if you are a licensed firearm holder, no firearm will be allowed in the compound or the venue. Some persons are easy to get angry, and the first thing, especially when you have a firearm, the first thing you want to use in the defense is you want to grab that. Some persons will prefer to de-escalate by using words. So therefore we want to ensure that you leave that at home, or you have some place to put it, most at the police station, that no one else can have it unless no one else can have it.
So you're saying that if they come to the venue, they have the firearm on them, that they can go to the nearest police station and leave it there until after?
Yes, if they don't mind that disposition, or else leave it at home. But it would not be wise, as I mentioned, to leave it in a vehicle. As we mentioned, persons can break into your vehicle and steal whatever is inside there. So in terms of leaving home, properly secure your home. If you are leaving persons in the home, ensure that they understand your safety measures. You have your safety and security plan. Make sure that they know it well and will operate it. In terms of leaving home, do not leave home already intoxicated, or do not leave home already under the influence of any other drug. Your ability to control and maneuver the vehicle on the road in that way that could be safe for you and others will be reduced drastically. Upon at the music festival, we expect you, if you're going to consume alcohol, to consume to your limit. Don't go over it. That means you will not be in control of yourself. Some people behave unruly, and there are some people who just pass out. And then there are some people who want to attempt to drive. Attempting to drive whilst under the influence of alcohol or any other drug that can impair judgment or motor skills is dangerous. Get another person to drive for you, or you may have to sleep in your vehicle. You may just have to go to a nearby hotel, one in Bastille. Walk preferably rather than drive. However, we are saying to you, just be safe and do not overdo things that make it very difficult for you to whether use the road or be in the venue, and people's safety are jeopardized because of your behavior as a result of the consumption of alcohol.
Sergeant Thompson, in terms of when you deal with stats from the police standpoint, would you be in a position to give us an idea in terms of the offenses that are more prevalent?
Yes. The most prevalent offenses we've seen so far are larcenies, most prevalent, followed by malicious damage to property, and then bodily harm offenses. Those are the top three offenses. And the first two are usually the most prevalent for decades. Every now and again you might have a switch. Break-ins would have been in the top three, but it has been down significantly for the past couple of years. But larcenies and malicious damage are the most prevalent in recent times.
Now, when we say larceny, police
right,
jargon,
theft,
I mean
stealing, yes. And it ranges from everything to person stealing in supermarkets, or someone may have forgotten their phone someplace and someone sees it, takes it up, keeps it for themselves, or someone stealing stuff from people's yard, and including predator larceny, where persons are stealing persons' crops, whether on a farm or in their backyard garden, or even stealing the breadfruit from their tree. And you can see how little things like these can cause other offenses to take place.
Yes. Right. Okay, so the larceny, you said the break-ins are done, the malicious damage.
Right. This is simply damage or destruction of another person's property. We see that happening quite a bit sometimes with domestic-related incidents. Boyfriend, girlfriend, husband and wife, they damage each other's property, or there's sometimes, there is that insinuation, but sometimes we don't have any evidence to prove that. Like someone comes out, they see the vehicle damaged, scratched up, and so they said, it might be my ex-girlfriend because she's vexed with me or something. But like I said, malicious damage is one of those that's up there with in terms of the most frequent types of offense being reported.
If I could just say something,
sure.
Just want to say something on the larceny and the malicious damage. There are some persons will, someone forget their phone in a counter, someone picks it up, and then the person may call and you say, okay, if you want your phone, you have to pay this amount of money. That's like extorting stuff from people, you know what I mean? That's offense. We call it larceny by finding, a thieving by finding.
So you're saying if somebody loses their phone and I happen to be walking and find it, I'm not lucky?
No, you're not lucky. You're not lucky. The law says that you should take it to the nearest police station. You can make an announcement that the phone is found. So if you want to go on a radio station, if you want to go on social media, just let somebody know phone was found. You don't have to get too much description, because the owner will know his or her property and they will properly identify it. So we want to encourage persons, discontinue that sort of attitude. It's not yours. If the person is so feeling that gratitude and willing to give you a reward for it, that's okay.
So just to be clear, you were saying somebody loses their phone,
Yes.
and I find it,
Yes.
and I keep it because finders keepers. You're saying that's an offense?
That is an offense. We call it larceny by finding, especially when the owner knows that you have it and reach out to you and you're withholding the phone. You want some form of reward and demanding it, and then you're hiding. You actually stole the phone. So, yes, it's unfortunate that I might lose my phone. It's unfortunate that I left it at the counter, forget and turn off. But the mere fact, I just left it there. You should run, sir. Excuse me, you forget your phone. That's the decent thing to do. But we want to encourage persons in our community to do the right thing at all times. Yes, we cannot get 100%, but if we can get near there, we're doing well as a society. So we want our society to be honest set of people. So when we see people's property, we leave it alone. When it comes to malicious damage now, is that, if my wife and I were in a dispute and I damage her windscreen, we get back together 2 days later, that's an expense for us. So we need to think through things. We need to resolve a disagreement without violence. And violence, I mean, to the individuals concerned, our property. If my neighbor and I had an argument, that doesn't mean their child should just come and scratch up my car and do all sorts of things. If I find out, that's a crime now. So they're going to jail. So parents need to channel things positively to their children. Let children start the big people business, as it was said in olden days. Keep out the big nigger business. So therefore, children should not participate in that, and it leads down to now to this where we have to have parents sending the correct message to our children. Not because you do me wrong, I should do you back wrong, and that's where we are now. Eye for eye, tooth for tooth. So I just wanted to say a bit, and lastly, stealing or thieving, yes, and malicious damage and mash up people's property.
Okay. What I have found is, for example, last December with the carnival season, you had a lot of persons coming to the station and reporting that they have lost their phone. What we would advise persons to do is when they're going in the jam session, that they try to secure their phone as best as possible, the property in general. Some persons were fortunate enough to have it returned either by tracking it or persons who good-minded citizens, and we have a lot of those here,
right,
who brought the phones to the station, and when persons came to the station were able to retrieve it. But it helps also if you try to secure the property, knowing where you're going, the jam session and the activity there. Mm-hmm. You can't put it in a normal position with all the activity going there. There's a likelihood, an increased likelihood that the phone or whatever property could be lost.
Especially if they stick it inside of their
stick in the front pocket,
what they
back
could
pocket.
do is you have these exercise armbands that you can buy to put
Yes.
your phone in when you exercise. They can probably invest in something like that, or fanny pack.
True.
So, audience, you are getting some tips on how to better safeguard your small items when you're in large crowds.
Yes.
And don't. I know some persons put it in the back pocket.
No.
The only reason why, but
that is not recommended. Yes.
So once you do that, persons can easily take it without you knowing.
Yeah. Okay, we'll take a break and we'll come back.
Looking for the best price on your third-party insurance? Well, look no more. The Insurance Company of the West Indies, ICWI, has the best protection at the best price with no deductible. Only at ICWI, third-party plus insurance features benefits include windscreen cover and accident forgiveness. What are you waiting for? Click now, ICWI.com, or call 465-8753. Visit us today at 1 Seabird Rock in Bastille or Heritage Plaza, Main Street, Charlestown, Nevis.
Riddle this, riddle that. Holtzman's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store is again giving away hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash back for free groceries with every hire purchase. We'll be giving back this coupon season. Happening now. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash back coupon to all our hire purchase customers. This coupon season starting now until December 2023. You get absolutely free groceries with every hire purchase at our Holtzman's Furniture and Appliances stores on St. Kitts Nevis and our Ashley Home Store on St. Kitts. So riddle this. Where can you get quality furniture and appliances at great prices with a flexible FlexPay plan and with absolutely free groceries with every hire purchase? Riddle that. Cashback at Holtzman's Furniture and Appliances on St. Kitts Nevis and our Ashley Home Store on St. Kitts. Riddle this. Riddle that. Holtzman's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store is giving you over $250,000 in cashback and a chance to win free groceries for a year. Riddle that cashback. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
Get ready for an unforgettable experience at the Royal St. Kitts Hotel. Join us for Pink Suntopia, a food and good vibes affair on Saturday, 24th June from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Splash Bar. Dress code is Shades of Pink. General admission is $20 and buffet inclusive is $65. You don't want to miss out on the amazing music from DJ Levi Chen, DJ Collision, DJ Hollywood HP, DJ Terrell, Sister Sensia, and EK The Real Ride. Tickets are available at No Rush Bar Port Zante and Royal St. Kitts Hotel. Come and enjoy the vibes with us.
Back. Superintendent David.
Yes. Thank you very much. As we are in the music festival mode, there is just something we want to express to the listening audience. Parking is a concern for us. We want persons to park in the designated parking areas. We know we will have parking attendants in some areas, and we'll also have police presence, traffic wardens will be assisting persons in parking, and some of the areas will be well lit. So we will encourage persons to park in the designated areas. Now, if you know some persons, because they know Superintendent David, they want to force your way through, we are saying to you, cooperate with the security personnel, whether they are private security, police, defense force personnel. Just cooperate, don't give any trouble, and things will go smooth for you there. In terms of the traffic signs, we know sometimes there are some persons, for some reason they may not see an officer there, a traffic warden there, and they'll drive to the sign, and that creates some problems. So let us say when we look at Victoria Road. Victoria Road will be a one-way that's going up. Someone come through at the top. What will happen is that you can cause some interruption there. And we're saying to persons, we want to let persons to continue to be law-abiding. Yes, we will have one or two persons, but we don't want the majority. The majority does that, it speaks something about us. So we want to let the whole world know that we are law-abiding citizens, and we will comply with the laws that our parliament would have prescribed for us to follow. But if there's an issue with it, there's a right way to go and make the law unconstitutional, challenge it in court, and see what happens. But if the court determines whether it is fitting within the Constitution, you have no issue there.
Okay. So we're asking the consideration of the public, given the music festival, and that there would be some interruptions in terms of the normal flow.
Yes.
Some areas that you normally drive a particular way, that may be restricted, at least for the time of the music festival.
Yes.
So while it may not be convenient for many persons, the short time, we're still asking that they work with the signs, work with the officers, and the traffic flow. Okay. Earlier we were mentioning in terms of the most prevalent crimes. We mentioned the stealing and the damage to property. What follows those in terms of what might be next? What's next in terms of
the other more, the lesser, more prevalent offenses?
yes?
We have sexual assaults, as well as correct myself here. Sexual assault is one of those offenses that over the years it's not that high in terms of the numbers, but it's there in terms of
A phone call.
call.
Okay, we'll take the call. Let me see now. Go ahead, caller.
Hello. Yes, I come to talk about a problem we have down the port for ages. You understand? And what I have been seeing when cruise ship down there with a fellow named Lines, all of us, me, you, and others, should feel aware if the behavior lines down there when cruise ship in. The man stink. People coming back from the excursion, coming back with the family, going in the food court, going away in him to have lunch. And he walking up and down between the people in the stores, going over the food court in a plastic bag, so he want ice. Still, the man moving like Miami is just a tail stool in himself. I mean, what is that? And we have security down there. Nobody. I come here in the show last week, I tell her, don't let me talk, And what do you mean? That's how we think it's come? That couldn't happen with Stafford Leibon. That couldn't happen with Mary Lake. Iron lines got going in the station. We don't want that young Podzante. We don't want it at all. If you didn't serve us in the station, do any little thing, you can imagine one day we down there, we man busting bad out in front of a young policeman and telling the boy, go F yourself. Come on, what's going on? What's going on? We have security down there. Tell the man we don't want him over on that soil once a ship in. It's embarrassing. Our tourists move away from the food when the Indians try to talk to him. The man building the people The people clean the place, clean a bench a morning. He eat, they give him food, he eat. He leave everything there and turn off. Come on. Don't let me go to get vexed, Don't let me go get vexed. Because you look like some Ayo in the armed forces, they like this country. Boy, believe I know it more than all Ayo. You understand? Let me do the right thing. I'm calling him Mr. Blasher, son, to come down the port. Let me see the one naked eyes. And up to now, he wouldn't come. When they come in on the station, I can use the media them with Ayo. Have a good day.
Okay, caller, thank you.
The caller is an issue. One more caller.
Caller, go ahead.
Yes, hello, blessed good morning. Good program, my friend. And
Thank you.
looking at people with the vehicle, right? Some of them they park up and they got a key in the vehicle and the window up. And some of them, they're supposed to check the vehicle. Everybody's supposed to check the vehicle at morning that nobody hide inside the vehicle and lock themselves in there to ambush them. Take care.
Alright, thank you. Point caller, and we, in terms of what the caller said, we advise persons that when you're leaving your vehicle that you check, make a check in terms to make sure that you don't leave your keys, whether in the ignition or on the seat.
Sure that's
As well, we have a habit at times of leaving our vehicles running. You have the engine started, and we leave the vehicle with the engine running, run to go and do something, leaving the vehicle running. That's a no-no.
It's an offense as well.
It is an offense.
And for someone who may want to utilize the vehicle for whatever means, it's quite easy for them to do.
Yes.
I just want to address something Carla made about Podzante. We're looking at vagrancy there, and we indeed we made statement that swearing for the police officer. I think the police officer should have taken. But we have to know how that goes. But once a person commits an offence in front of a police officer, there should be some sort of action taken. So we will have to look at that. What would be good is that if when persons see persons who are vagrants around their business places and leaving garbage and so forth, they need to inform the relevant authorities. For example, the police can be one, and then you have the security personnel down at Port Zante who can assist in that regard. Especially if no police officers are around, you can just call and they should be able to take some course of action, speak with him. I'm aware of the individual, sometimes it can be a bit challenging, but once you see the lies be broken, you have to take a firm stand against it. So that's what we will do with that. So we want to thank the caller for that information, and we will encourage our officers to pay more attention to that and address it accordingly. That's okay.
The caller, go ahead, on.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
This program is entitled Policy with You. But it seems like this program is only talking with us. And the reason why I say that is many years ago, we've been hearing police are saying that they take another gun off the street, wherever they get it. And we don't hear whether the police them dig until they find the main route who the agent be who bringing in this gun in this country here, and who the agent is who's selling them. So that if we see the agent in a certain area, we the public could call the police and say, look, I see the main agent for bringing in gun, I see that agent in this area, I see a vehicle flying overhead, flying very low in that area where the police them say the gun come from. Why is it the information I reach out to the public that we could tell the police them what we see going on in the night around the borders? That's my question. Thank you, sir, for listening.
All right, thank you, sir.
One more.
Hello, speak to this program, please.
Could call the police and say, look, I see the main agent for bringing in gun, I see that agent in this area.
Okay.
Caller?
Hello, good morning.
Caller.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Morning. Welcome. Thank you. I just want to speak to the domestic violence. Now, in many instances, you find when police have to come on the scene for domestic violence, whether husband or wife and a girlfriend, most times they will say to the male, you have to find a way to sleep. So I'm asking the officer to enlighten the public how best and lawfully should this be handled by the law officers when they get involved, because sometimes it's boyfriend and girlfriend and the property don't belong to the girlfriend, but yet they would say the male has to find somewhere to sleep because he's probably the more aggressive one. And I want to know, if the female turns out to be the more aggressive one, what steps they are going to take, because we don't want to just, you go on the scene and you leave them and then next morning you hear somebody lose their life or somebody gets further injured or something. So please enlighten us, the public, how the officers should handle the situation when it comes to domestic dispute, whether you're a boyfriend and girlfriend living together or husband and wife living together, whether the man is the aggressive one or the female is the aggressive one. Thank you very much.
I did not hear everything the caller was saying because his voice was rather low, but he seems to be talking about how best we should, how the police would address situations, domestic situations. I'll speak to what I did hear. The caller did indicate how best we should deal with the situation and how we should resolve it in terms of, for both parties involved. We generally do not leave the situation in a chaotic state, in that we don't want to leave there when there's still a possibility that there may be repetition of what brought the police to the scene in the first place. Mm-hmm. So sometimes that might be we may have to arrest someone or escort someone to another place. We try our best always to diffuse the situation so that we do not have a recurrence of what brought us to the incident in the first place. He mentioned something about property. In terms of Right.
No, go ahead. You're going good so far. Go ahead.
Right. In terms of property in dispute, those are civil matters. We generally would direct persons to seek legal advice, especially if it's property that's whether gifted or bought. A gift is a gift. What do you give? Indian gift, right? If you give someone a gift, why you want to take it back? But things that may have been purchased between both persons, those are matters that will be taken before, right? Joint ownership matters will have to take taken before a court for the court to make a decision about who gets the property. I hope that answers the caller's.
One of the other things I would like to mention too, in terms of persons being removed from the property, both sexes are removed. Yeah. So there's no discrimination against males. Right. Both sexes.
What might play into that is convenience. There might be one person who is able to go by a relative or a friend.
Right.
So you ask the question: is there some way you can go?
Yes.
Or you can go, and your sister person is going to that place, so that you don't have
that friction.
Yes.
And one of the things, domestic violence, domestic issues, they're very difficult to deal with. Yes. You'll find even the same night when the police would have intervened and one person leave, later that person who left get the call and say, come back, we never mean it, and they make up again. But that's just part of the job, and we have to understand human nature. When you're dealing with love and affection, it's very difficult. But we have our work to do, and we will do it the best way the law provides for us today. So thank you very much, caller.
You have a caller? Okay, caller. Go ahead, John.
Okay, hello, you too. Good morning.
Good morning, man.
Good morning, Sergeant Thompson.
Good morning.
I'm calling from New York. I was born in the Federation, and the guy just stopped jam down. That's my brother.
All right, sir.
I'm calling about the killing that is going on in my home, where I was born. When I was young, you might have one killing a year. I'm 76 years old. And right now, I'm afraid to come back to my country because I'm 76 and I'm older. And I'm scared to walk the street because of all the murdering and killing of people going on in St. I believe, I used to work for Hartford. I used to work on the sea. And I believe that the Coast Guard, St. Coast Guard, should get a boat that they could patrol the whole island like they do in Puerto Rico. In Puerto Rico, the United States Coast Guard go around the island at night to stop the flow of weapons that come in those bays that the police cannot see and can control it. I believe that's one of the biggest problems, because I know for sure in Puerto Rico they protect the whole island. And I was appalled when I hear the commissioner said they was getting somebody from Homeland Security from the United States to come and help them and formulate a plan. I was very happy to hear him say that, because he said he was trained one time in Quantico, Virginia at the FBI headquarters. So I'm afraid to come home. I hate to say that. I was born there. I love my homeland. But I'm older now, and I'm afraid to come home because I don't want to get robbed and get killed because I live in America all these years. So that's my call for today.
Okay. Thank you, caller. Caller, go ahead.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
May I ask where is this?
I'm not hearing.
Pardon me?
Okay, go ahead.
No. What department is this?
You're on policing with you, that I said?
Okay, I think it's the wrong number.
Okay, thank you.
I just want to address something a caller made regarding firearms and so forth entering the country and the perpetrators. Once the police have intelligence, we will not really reveal certain things. Whether it is who give us information and sometimes who our suspects, our targets are. So let me use the word suspects. Because if it is an ongoing investigation, we cannot do that. It will foil our efforts to safeguard you, make you safer. So we are saying to members of our society, yes, you want some information, but we ask you to forbear with us. Because these investigations, they don't take 2 days, some take years. If you look at how the US, they do the transnational investigation with firearms and drugs. Sometimes it takes them years, and when they do that loop, you find hundreds of people being arrested and charged in different countries. So we are working with our partners in the region and internationally, and we're hoping that our citizens can also work with us. You may see or hear something, and that's what we keep saying. See something, say something. Hear something, say something, so that we can make our country safer. So we thank you for the question, and at the same time too, we are encouraging you to support us in our efforts. Look at it this way. You play your part and we'll play our part. You know, so many persons may have the same view like you, but once we deal with an active ongoing investigation, there's not much, we can't really reveal much, but we can just let you know we are investigating it, and we hope to have success, and we will have success in our efforts. So thank you for your support and your contribution, and we continue to encourage our citizens, whether home and abroad, to help us to make our country much safer, where everyone can come live and enjoy themselves.
And to add to that, the Commissioner has given a commitment in terms of his priorities, that where it is possible, that he would give greater feedback to the public,
right,
in terms of where we're at and what we're doing, where that is practicable and possible, that would be the case. So I take what the caller is saying, but like you said, there's something that are sensitive in nature, and we can only do so much in terms of how much information we reveal. But where information can be revealed for certain matters, we're given the commitment to do better in that regard.
And I just want to just say something on the issue of the Coast Guard. We appreciate that comment. We do hope that our members, and especially senior personnel in the Defence Force, are listening. The Coast Guard is not under the command of the police force, but we can also share this idea with you. So to say it's happening, it's not happening, but I know they do go out and do their thing, so I can't really speak too much on that. But rest assured that if once you have the number for the up there, you can call and make that suggestion. They may tell you they're doing it. They may say, well, that is something we're going to do. But you know, there are some challenges here and there, but I know that every effort has been made from all the agencies within the Federation to curb the entry of illegal firearms into the Federation. So thank you, caller, and we appreciate it.
Okay, if we do a wrap, could you, anything you want to leave behind with all?
Yes, we are seeing where antisocial behavior that leads to criminal activities are there, being perplexing to many persons and worrying. And I take this opportunity to encourage parents to be the loving and caring and kind parent and responsible parent to their children. What that means, you have to punish or chastise when it's appropriate. And you don't use foreign objects like piece of stick, machete and hammer and so forth to say you punish that abuse. You use a belt and you can spank in the hand or spank on the buttocks, you know, and you don't slap on backs when they look you have a medical bill. We are also encouraging our citizens in the wider community, let us be respectful to our children and encourage them to do the right thing, and we ourselves to lead by example. From the police standpoint, we're doing very well to make sure that our country is safe. I would like to say we have events coming up Saturday. We have the fishing competition in Deep Bay, and we also have a Juve coming up again in Bastia for the music festival, Juve. So we're encouraging persons to go out and do it in a safe manner. Remember the rules of the road. Drive carefully, drive responsibly, do not drink and drive. And obey the police officers when they give you directions for safety on the road and safety-wise at these events. Thank you very much, and do have a blessed day.
Senator Thompson, anyone?
Okay, just to close, we know the fear of crime is one of the things that drives persons to act or not to act. But we want persons to think logically, think practically when it comes to securing their homes or securing their vehicles or just being out and about in the community, especially at night times. You secure your vehicle. When you return, make sure that there's no one inside of it, and double check when you're leaving it to make sure that it's locked. Even check it when you get back to see if there's any damage to it, because the sooner it is that we know that something happens, the quicker it is we can get to that investigation and possibly solve that report. So, for example, you have a vehicle parked in an area, you didn't check it when you return to it, and then when you get home you realize, look, there's a hole in the back quarter glass of it. Had you maybe called the police at the time of where, and the thing is, you might have made multiple stops on your way home, and then you may not know, and this makes it difficult now for the police to do a proper investigation as to where your vehicle might have been damaged, or who might have done it. So simple things like these can go a long way in helping the investigation or even preventing persons from becoming a victim of crime. Make sure that you put measures in place to secure your home and your property. And then if you are a victim of a crime, report it as soon as possible to the police so we can better assist. And when we can't prevent, we detect. By detection, we also, in a way, preventing, because the sooner we apprehend persons who are committing these types of offenses, right, we prevent the continuation of future types of these offenses. So there's that. Thank you.
Okay, so we looked at the music festival, and that's fast approaching. We have some activities that would lead up to that, and we're encouraging persons to bear with the security forces. Keep in mind that some of the traffic, normal traffic flows, there will be some interruptions, but chances are it will only be for a short time. So just bear in mind, be patient, be respectful, obey the laws, take some precautions when you're leaving home in terms of securing your house, whether you leave a light on outside so that there is some visibility. When you're parking your vehicles, make sure you don't leave valuables on the seat. Make sure you lock your doors, walk with the keys, double check.
The current operation
something you want to share?
Yes, we are currently, based on the initiative that we are taking recently, based on the uptick in crime, you will see we out there more often, and we are saying when we stop you, just comply with the police officers. It's for your safety. And we want persons to be reassured that we are going to continue our job to provide the safety and security for our country. So I just mentioned that, so you can add some more to it.
In short, work with us as we try to work with you in terms of ensuring that you're safe, that you enjoy the activities that are planned, so that everybody can have a good time and we can be a better nation for it. Again, I want to thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you again next week on another edition of Policing With You. I am Sergeant Marvin Thompson saying so long and have a good day.